Today, let's cool down and stretch. So whether you just finished some high cardio or major strength or even a yoga workout, this is going to help us to cool down from all that high intensity work and then stretch it out. So this is the perfect post-workout workout for you to do. Please do me a favor and let me know what you think in the comments below. Check out that Patreon link as well, and let's begin. So let's say that we just finished some cardio or intense strength training. You probably got shoes on, but I'm going to do it without shoes today. So let's take it wide and back in. And we're going to start to take it wide again into 4 squats. Push it back, squeeze to come up. Remember, we want to use our glutes here. A lot of people use their thigh muscles. Let's bring it back in with our march, and we're going to do 4 squats off to the side. Squat it out, bring it in. Squat it out, bring it in. So we're still working large major muscle groups. Let's go to the other side with a view towards bringing our heart rate down, or just kind of polishing off the edges if we've been doing some strength training. So this time let's take it out to the first side for 2. Keeping our chest up, other side for 2. Let's keep our arms moving now as well. Switch sides. And then the other side. Let's stay it out wide this time. And we're just going to do a little lift of each knee. So let's add some arms, especially if we just come off of high intensity cardio. And then we're going to switch this up, just a little kick back. Get our arms involved too, keeping our chest up. And let's just take it back to an easy march in place. So what we're going to do, and part of the reason I'm barefoot is so you can kind of see this a little better. You can do this in your shoes too, but what we're going to do is we're going to land toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. So just a little come down march, articulating our feet. Then we're going to switch this up, heel, toe, starting to stretch through the back of our calves a little bit. Then let's go ahead and place our feet down. We're going to take this to some pelvic tilts. So starting to bring that energy back into our core. So getting a little strength training in our cool down as well. And step it out wide for some hula hoops. Let's switch directions. We're going to keep moving while we stretch. And then we'll bring it down to some hold stretches. So let's begin working our chest, or opening our chest, because we've probably been working it. We're going to step wide and lunge side to side. So the goal here is to begin stretching while still cooling down. So we're just going to hold over to one side for a moment, see if we can lift our hands a little higher, shift it to the other side. Now let's come back to the center, and we'll come halfway forward and maybe stay a little higher than that. If we're still breathing heavy, if our heart rate is still up, we want to keep our head above our heart. And let's lift up from here, walking it in, and we're going to keep our hands the way they are for a little back bend, straight up, or knuckles into our waist first. And we can stand for this because back bends, especially if we're going deep, get our heart rate up as well. So we can stand still for our back bend. And let's lift up from here. And I'm going to take it to some little step and taps across. So while we're doing that, let's take one arm up, pressing from the front on our tricep. Or if we want to go deeper, we can come around from behind. Let's bring it down. We're going to take that arm on top for a big hug. And again, let's only come about halfway forward, toes pointing forward. And let's bring this back up. And this time we're going to tap a little to the back. So a little bit of stretching going on at our hips here as we press this arm up and back. Hopefully our heart rate is coming down by this point. So let's come here, that arm on top. Let's come forward, hold for a moment. Pushing our tailbone back, crown of our head forward. And let's lift up from here. And we're going to take one foot, cross it over, and reach up to the ceiling. We can also keep our feet separated. And then either way our feet are, we can gauge how much deeper we want to go here. Checking in with our breath. And just noticing if we're still breathing through our mouth. Let's take it to the other side. So again, just reaching straight up, over, or crossed over, reaching up and over. So we're going to take it back to a little bit of movement after this one. Let's take it wide. I tell you what, let's take it to a lunge. And we'll come forward and back. Forward and back. Particularly again, if we still have our heart rate up. Let's go ahead and lift up here, pushing forward. We can even lift up our heel this time. And taking easy fists to our bottoms, we can add a back bend here. That way we can hold still, but still have our heart rate okay. And let's come back up, planting that foot. And we're just going to come as far forward as we're comfortable going right here. If our heart rate has come down, we don't hear our, feel our heartbeat in our head, we can take this and start to go a little deeper. But let's gauge our own bodies here. And let's lift back up, and we'll just take this to the other side. So again, we'll start with a little movement, pushing our heel down, coming back. So just a little lean back and a little lean forward. And let's come forward again, lifting our toes, really getting our hips stretched here, and adding that back bend to accentuate that stretch across the front of our hip. Breathing. And we'll come back up, bring that heel down, straighten the front leg, and again, just gauging how we each personally feel here, and let that guide us as to how far forward to go. Keeping a slight bend in our knee, we don't want to walk it out, or press on it. And let's lift up from here, shake that out. So we're going to take this to a downward dog stretch, and I'm going to demonstrate it on the wall today. But those of you who are familiar with doing it on the floor can do it there. So we want to start with our hands just a little below shoulders, so that when we step back, they're even, shoulders and wrists. And then we're going to press back, same as on the floor. We're going to press our tailbone back to the back wall, let our ears come between our arms, and just feel that stretch along the entire back side of our body. And then we're going to let this go and either walk in or let our hands go down into our forward fold, or a half forward fold depending on how we're feeling. And I always like to finish off with some deep hip stretches, so feel free to sit on the floor or on a chair, or do this balancing. We're going to cross one leg over the other and sit back a little bit. Definitely hold the wall here. I mean, we can train for balance, but if we want to focus on the stretch, we're going to be able to get deeper into stretching that hip if we're holding on to something. So make sure to think about what you want to focus on here, balance or flexibility. You're still going to get balance training. Let's switch legs. Still going to be some balance training, even if we're holding on to a wall or a chair. And of course, if we're sitting on the floor or in the chair, we get more leverage for that stretch. And feel free to hold these stretches even longer if you want. But we're going to call it a day for now. Let's take 2 deep breaths. And again, make sure to leave me some comments below. Let me know if you want more videos like this or some different stretches the next time. And do check out that Patreon link. It's a way to help me out financially in being able to bring all this free videos to you all here on YouTube. All right, I will see you next time.